Hello beautiful, how are you today? Thank you so much for being here, for hitting that like button, for hitting the subscribe button if you're not already a member of my family, and for hitting that notification bell. That will let you know the next time I upload new content on my channel, and for all the beautiful comments that you leave in the comment section below. It means everything to me, so thank you. And to my returning subscribers, I am so happy you're here. It's always a blessing to see you, and I appreciate your support so much. So, all right, I'm gonna be doing a drugstore or affordable brush set review. I'm gonna unbox it. It's been sitting on my beauty table here for actually probably about a month and a half. I've just had so many other videos that I wanted to do and get out there, and finally I've gotten around to this one. It's been in my list. Like I say, I have that list on my fridge and I'm working my way through. But I want to start off by asking, who is watching Messiah on Netflix? I am absolutely, literally obsessed with it. And it is changing my perspective on what I think and how I believe, and just so many things. It is, I believe, about the second coming, and just the man that plays Al-Masih, he is a nice looking man. You're not overly attracted to him, and I think that's part of the point. And he has no fear, and he just completely accepts where God puts him. So whether you are Muslim or Christian or spiritual or whatever faith, religion, religious background you are, I honestly would say go and watch it. It is amazing. I can't wait to get back over to my couch to watch that. Let me know if you are watching it, what your thoughts and feelings are so far. All right, let's get on with beauty. So I've heard from a number of people that they wanted me to do a review or talk about some more affordable brushes, and I know that as I have gone along over my years, I have really invested a lot of money into my brushes, into my makeup care and all that kind of stuff. I like to buy the better quality stuff, but perhaps you're not a person who wears makeup on a continual basis, and for you it's just like, oh my god, you mean I have to spend $19 on a brush or $75 on a brush in order for me to look like that? That's ridiculous. Forget about it. I'm walking away. And I get that. So what I wanted, and actually I do own a number of brushes that have come from a Groupon set. I think they were $25 for 21 brushes or something like that. So it's literally $1 a brush. And but today I am going to talk about the Profusion. This is the Master Brush Effects 6-piece eye and face brush collection, and it is actually a pretty good cross-section of brushes that I would use on a regular basis. So let's go ahead, get this open, and I'll start talking about the brushes. All right, so I was over at my local drugstore called London Drugs here in Canada, and we have a couple of major drugstores here in Canada, Shoppers Drug Mart and London Drugs. They are thankfully pretty competitive with each other, and my favorite actually is Shoppers Drug Mart. They have an amazing optimum points program that allows me to, if I do the point system right, I usually get about $300 to $400 worth of cosmetics and anything else that I want to buy in the drugstore for redeeming my points. So that is amazing, and then all I'm paying is the tax on that. So, whew. Anyways, but this one I picked up from London Drugs. All right, so this is it pulled out of the box itself, and I haven't ever touched these brushes before, so I am going to start with the all over face brush. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you that I'm actually quite impressed with the sturdiness of these bristles. Okay, I paid 19.99 Canadian for these brushes, and it was regularly $29.99. So the American conversion would probably be somewhere around $13 American, 14 maybe even, depending on what the exchange rate is today. That changes on a daily basis, but I'm really quite impressed with this. It is synthetic, obviously. It's not going to be real hair, not for that price, but it certainly isn't very weighted, but it is a nice feeling brush in my hands. It isn't anything overly large, and I have very tiny hands, so this fits really nicely in my hands. I'm happy with it. This one I would use for all over my face for applying powder and maybe even bronzer. That would be an excellent use for this brush as well. All right, the next size down. Okay, this feels nice and dense as well. And I would actually use this particular brush for application of foundation. This feels like it could actually do the job and mix everything in and give you a really nice finish. It is a little bit rounded up top here, and I personally like that. I've got one of the flat kabuki brushes from Sigma, and I use that on a regular basis, but then Jaclyn Hill also has her Morphe brush for foundation application, and I really like that. It's got that rounded top to it as well, so I kind of go back and forth. I use everything to put my foundation on. I'm not like, oh, I only use this and I can't even think about anything else. So you know what, this I am actually quite impressed with, and again, it feels really beautiful in my hands. And of course, all the sparkles. And who doesn't like a little bit of sparkles? Okay, now the next brush, this is the last of the 3 face brushes. And this one, again, very nice and dense as well. When you spend a little bit more money, of course, you're going to get a larger amount of hairs or bristles up at the top. And this one I would use for blush, or I would use for highlighter. Those are probably maybe contouring, like right along the cheekbones and around the hairline and whatnot. So this actually has quite a nice variety of uses. It is a smaller handle on there, like in thickness, but I'm actually quite impressed with this. So that's a really great job, Profusion. Okay, now we get into the, oh goodness, this is getting difficult to take out. Okay, now we get into the eye brushes. Okay, and this is actually not bad either. I'm quite impressed. I'll show you the top of that. That's what it looks like. And I would use this for my all over setting of my primer or of the concealer, if depending on which you use for your eye, and or to do any buffing out of colors that you're placing on your eye, or if you're just going to do one color all over your eye, this would be an amazing brush to use as well. I think the length of this brush is quite nice. It just rests really easily in my hand, and it's very, very light. So there's not a whole lot of weight to that. That's not necessarily a bad thing. The thing to keep in mind with brushes that are not of the higher end variety is that the bristles, the little hairs tend to fall out. The glue that is used isn't necessarily of the higher quality glues that they would use on the higher end brushes. So you're probably going to get a lot of bristle fallout. That's just something to be aware of. I'm not putting down any of the drugstore brand brushes at all, but I'm actually liking how much these bristles, the hairs are staying in there. Like, it feels pretty sturdy. So great job on that. All right, brush number 5, and I am already liking the feel of this. It is super dense, And I feel that this would be really great for precision work, for doing work in the crease, for adding in color on the inner corner, outer corner, in the middle, everything. This, I am very, very impressed. So the weight of it is very, very light. But that density, and the amount of bristles that they have in this brush, amazing. So Profusion, excellent job. Again, I've got one more brush to look at. Okay, and this is the brush tip that we have on there. Amazing. This is actually quite well put together. It's got some good sturdiness to that, to the tip of it. I would use this obviously as an eyebrow applicator for, I use a lot of eyeshadow on my brows. I don't use a whole lot of pencils or the stuff that they put in those little eyebrow duos. I think that it's just eyeshadow that they put in there. Personally, maybe a little tiny bit different formulation, I'm not sure, but that's what I do, ladies. So you don't have to be stuck with everything. If they say that that's a blush, that you can only use it as blush, use it as eyeshadow, use it as contour. You know what? Open up your world. Don't get so stuck and focused on, oh, I can only use it for this, because makeup can be used for so. I have seen makeup artists use lipstick on the eyes. So the world is your oyster when it comes to makeup. Okay, so the last thing that I would do with this is run along the under eye there to place darker colors to be blown out, or to run along my eyelashes as an eyeliner up at the top. It would be great for creating that little winged look if you're doing that. I know a lot of older ladies, we don't tend to do that winged eyeliner. I don't know. I've tried it. It looks okay. I'm kind of getting to that point where it's not really something that, I don't know. I'm not wanting to do it anymore, is basically what I'm saying. I'm deep enough into my 40s that that's kind of a thing of the past, and I'm okay with that. I'm not like, oh, I'm too old. No, I just feel like it's time to move on, is what I'm saying. All right, so overall, I am really very impressed with the price point that you are paying for these brushes. Very, very good. So Profusion, well done. I am going to use these brushes. I am going to reach for them, absolutely. And if there's something that I can link for you in regards to these brushes, I will do that in the description box below. Follow me on all of my social media. I've got links created for each of those. Go ahead and leave me questions in the comment section. I love hearing from you. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember, ladies, I am enough. I will see you in my next upload.